Bill Gates, who is now the #1 farmland owner in the United States, has thousands and thousands of farmland here in the United States. He has houses all over the world right on the water, including his like $30 million mansion in Seattle right on the water. You'd think he'd be freaking out because of climate change and the water and all that stuff, but don't worry about Bill Gates. He was interviewed by Anderson Cooper. Now, Anderson Cooper, I actually think relative to what goes on generally at CNN, Anderson Cooper is sort of just nothing, right? He's not horrific, I guess. He's not good. He's part of the whole thing, but he's not like just balls out horrible, okay? He interviewed Bill Gates, and he actually asked him about Bill Gates' carbon footprint, because as you know, Bill Gates is flying all over the place, his private planes, all of the stuff that he's always talking about, but doesn't seem to really live in a congruent way in his own life with those things. Take a look.
Are you the right messenger on this? Because you fly private planes a lot, and you're creating a lot of greenhouse gases yourself.
Yeah, I probably have one of the highest greenhouse gas footprints of anyone on the planet. My
kind of ironic.
Personal flying alone is gigantic. Now, I'm spending quite a bit to buy aviation fuel that was made with plants. I switched to an electric car. I've used solar panels. I'm paying a company that actually, at a very high price, can pull a bit of carbon out of the air and stick it underground. And so I'm offsetting my personal emissions.
Don't worry, guys. He's taking carbon out of the air and putting it underground. How do you think that's going to work out? Like, probably not that well, right? They're putting all the carbon underground, and then in 5 years from now, we're going to find out, boy, you put a lot of carbon underground, it blows a whole bunch of shit up. He's just a complete he's a hypocrite. I was going to try to come up with something a little more clever there. He's a hypocrite and an authoritarian control freak. First off, I don't believe that he's offsetting. Somehow he has figured out through plant stuff that he puts in his planes that he has somehow offset his carbon footprint. You have to understand that this guy, with the amount of houses that he owns, the amount of land that he owns, the planes that he is on, I don't begrudge him any of those things either, by the way. As I always say, like, I am a capitalist. He created something, it has value. I don't like the fact that he then takes all of his money to decide how the rest of us should live. But the idea that he has somehow offset his carbon footprint, which he admits is gigantic, but good for him, he's got an electric car and solar panels. The problem is that he's trying to push all of those things on everyone else, and not everyone can afford those things. That is the problem.